Race fans, good evening and a very warm welcome to the World Center of Racing. We're live from the Daytona International Speedway for round 4 of the Infinity Graphic Designs Dev Series and the second night of the Elite Racing League Speedweeks. I'm Cameron Rich, joined in the booth by Mc Intosh and Chris Wright on the cameras. If you missed last night's Belly Up Sports Cup Series broadcast here on Elite Racing Network, Matthew Weeks took home the checkered flag in the Elite Clash, earning to himself no points but a ton of confidence heading into next week's 14th annual Rev Limit Workshop Daytona 500. That will be coming at you next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Elite Racing Network. Tonight, however, points are on the line. 80 laps of fast-paced action on these infamous high banks will be a determining factor of how the championship picture looks going forward. Caleb Kumer, who was just on your screen in that pink Porsche-inspired car, he's currently P2. He's won last 2 races of the, or he's won 2 of the 3 races so far this season, and he's looking pretty dominant, but one mistake by anyone in the field can change that in an instant. Ty, as we finish up qualifying here, what are these drivers thinking about right now?
I mean, there's a lot of things. Right now, they're certainly thinking about trying to get as high up on the grid as they can for qualifying, trying to make the show. I don't know if we have too many more than 43, but only 43 are going to qualify. And then once that green flag drops, you're kind of playing a waiting game for some people. You don't want to be in the big wreck, so you're hanging out towards the back. You can front run, you can fuel save. There's so many different ways that they can attack this race tonight. I'm excited to see, how many different strategies we're going to see. There's also people who are really good at these plate tracks that are going to be up towards the front, probably going to front run a lot of it. Those guys that maybe haven't made as many starts, who need as many points as possible. So many different strategies are going to happen. And also, I mean, we have to mention the big one. It happens every plate race. There might even be more than one, but I think that's going to be something that's weighing on these drivers' minds as we get ready to go.
Absolutely. Yep. The big one happens in every Daytona race I think ever broadcasted or ran on the service, and we'll probably definitely see it here tonight. A lot of talent split here. We have some drivers who have a lot of experience in the ovals. David Carpenter, he is up there leading the pack right now with a 51.127 lap time, and with 30 seconds left to go in qualifying, that's looking pretty safe, but I'm showing 45 cars here right now, so we will have 2 did not qualify entries, which right now it's looking like Andy Thomas and Kirk Gibson are the 2 slowest cars, and we'll have to see how that goes with I don't know if there's any guaranteed entries here in this series, but yeah, those 2 are the slowest right now. I think Dave Carpenter, he's looking pretty safe at the pole, so it's going to go ahead and capture his first pole of the season. Yeah, and what's such a big field? That's a big confidence boost. Really, qualifying order is not the most, it's not the strongest thing that matters at a track like this, because you do draft your way to the front and will go back in a hurry as well. But either way, it's still good as well, or still good to start at the front. So Dave Carpenter, he's your pole sitter. He's going to line up next to Pierce Hausler on his outside. Position number 3 is Caleb Kumer, the dominant driver we talked about so far. Next to him, Jimmy Hayden. He's also been up there at the front so far. Paul Michaelachik, he rolls off in position number 5. Austin Abnett rolls off in 6th. 7th is going to be Corey Abbott. 8th, Jacob Adams. 9th place is Cale Pocock. 10th is Jaden Racimus. Andrew Hardcastle, he rolls off in 11th. Mark Rabillis, he will roll off in position number 12. Dusty Dragon Doer, he rolls off in 13th position. Look for that car to be fast here tonight. He'll be up the front at some point or another. Frank Fody, he rolls off in 14th. Ryan Borges, he rolls off in 15th place. Scotty Larson, 16th. 17th is David Westergreen, one of the plate race lovers of the field. We know he'll be fast, so watch for him to get to the front. Eric Whitner, he's going to roll off 18th. 19th is Dylan Javier. Harrison Talion is going to roll off 20th, Ty. Go ahead and just roll through here. Ty's doing some admin duties. 21st, Logan Key. 22nd, Bryce Fody. 23rd, Gavin Higgins. Ray Bracey, 24th. Dave Huckleberry rolls off 25th. 26th is going to be Dominic Wright. Rishav Khosla, 27th. Connor Thompson Gardner, he's going to roll off 28th. 29th is Philip Falzone. 30th is Mike Goodman. Going to roll off in the 30th position, number 44 machine. 31st is James Watson. 32nd, Samuel Malone. 33rd is Austin Sal. Noah Brown rolls off in 34th. 35th is Sam Boutwell. 36th, Trenton roll off. 37th is Josh Osborne. 38th, Pete Morales. Shea Mitchell in 39th. 40th, Robert Hensey. 41st, Tony Graham. 42nd, Kyle Harner. 43rd is Brett Jones. 44th place is Kurt Gibson. And 45th, Andy Thomas. And it looks like showing all the drivers here on the grid, so I don't know if there's going to be any DNQs. But either way, yeah, we're rolling.
Great question. Let me go double check.
So if so, that would be your 45 car grid for tonight, which would be very exciting. But we'll have to double check on that. But tonight's format: 80 laps, 3 sets of tires in the pits, and just some race information here. The track layout: it is Daytona. It looks like that. It's always looked like that, and it's an oval. So 70 degrees here out on the track temp, or excuse me, air temp. Humidity 47, cloudy, and wind 7 miles per hour. So not too much going on here. Good night for racing. These guys aren't going to have to worry about anything besides the other cars on the night. But yep, Kurt Gibson and Andy Thomas, your DNQs for tonight. Just got word on that, so both of them will unfortunately not be starting the race tonight. But yeah, final moments here before the race tonight. This pace lap is pretty long. Takes about a minute and a half or somewhere abouts there, maybe a little bit longer or less. But a lot to think about here as these drivers roll through turn number 4. 80 laps is ahead of them, and that is a pretty good distance for a race like this. So plenty of time for something to happen, plenty of time for things to not happen as well. So if we go green, it's going to be about a little bit over an hour. The pace truck is there, making that hard left turn into the pit road. And there we go. Green flag is out. We are underway here at Daytona. Good start for the 71 of Dave Carpenter on the inside. Good start for Pierce Hausler on the outside as well. I think the outside is a little bit stronger right now. See how it looks heading into turn number 1, but I think the field is pretty well 2x2 right now for about 20 rows or so. So most of our field still in the lead pack, but Pierce Hausler pulls down in front of Dave Carpenter to take the lead of the race here through turns 1 and 2, and it's looking side by side right now.
Yeah, we've got like a little bit of a break off here at the end of the pack. We had a little bit of a slow start about halfway through the top 10, but everybody else is sorted pretty good. Right now, a pretty healthy pack up front. Jimmy Hayden leading the outside lane. Pierce Hausler on the bottom in front of our pole sitter. The inside's actually going to have a good jump here. Caleb Humer's going to have not quite clear air on Jimmy Hayden, so he's going to have to tuck in. But Pierce Hausler's going to come around and lead lap number 1 here of this 160-mile race.
Yeah, something I'm noticing here, there was a little bit of an offset push there from behind the 24 of Jimmy Hayden from that was Austin and Abnett. So these drivers are going to have to look for that tonight. Make sure they don't offset push too much, because you can turn that car left or right in the corner. They turn right, they hook into the wall, they turn left, they spin to the inside. So not something you want to do. You see that lead that Pierce Hausler is actually getting right there. That's going to give, who's that on the outside? That looks like the...
Big pick, Caleb Humer. Oh, he's going to get... Ooh.
That is Caleb Humer. His car not loading on my end, but yeah, aggressive move for him. But yeah, the dominant driver we've seen all season. Definitely why we've seen him be dominant, those moves like that.
Yeah, we had that move that he made with Paul Mikulicek, and then we were kind of sitting there and saw that gap kind of fade, and Caleb was able to get in front of Paul. A little bit of contact there almost between the 77. Jimmy Hayden's going to take the lead now. A little bit of a push from Austin and Abnett. Jacob Adams going to be third car in that outside lane. Oh, Jimmy's going to not be decisive. Into the sucker hole he goes. That's something that we're probably going to see a lot tonight with these guys trying to learn with each other. This is the first time they've been on a plate track, so there's a lot of learning going to happen tonight.
Yeah, that's a hard way to learn, Ty. That is a lot of spots that he is just bleeding out right now. He's back to about 20th place, I think, maybe right now. So Jimmy Hayden taking some tough lessons right here. He's still 3 wide. He's going to continue to fall back until he can get either up or down into one of these lines. Nothing in front of him right now or behind him, any type of help. And that is just a helpless feeling. You just gotta find the line. I think right there he's going to get some drafting help. Maybe, nope, still in the sucker hole. So, yeah, it's a tough lesson to learn, and probably won't do that again tonight.
Yeah, I would imagine somebody should try to shuffle him in at some point. I don't know if his teammate Dylan Slepian's back there. He might not even be here tonight, so scratch that from your list. But it's still going to be stuck 3 wide, a little bit further back there. But out front, Paul Mikulicek, Caleb McHumor went to the bottom. Mikulicek's going to take the clean air and a push from Jacob Adams, and he's going to be clear to the lead. Jacob Adams is going to get cleared just about Jaden Racimus. So those two are going to drop to the bottom. New outside line leader, Jaden Racimus, with some help from Marco Bilas.
Yeah, a couple new names there tonight. Racimus and Bilas trying to get something working on that high side. Not quite there just yet. I think maybe Racimus needs to keep that car a little bit lower through the corners. Maybe get you want to get down on that car on the inside. It's kind of a game of inches there. Actually, now getting the help from Jacob Adams in that 48, so they'll have some help there on the outside line. But there is a thing about drafting with these cars. You got to kind of pinch the car down and inside to get a lot of speed out of there. It's dangerous but effective. So maybe these drivers just using a bit of discretion right now. It's lap 5, so plenty of racing left to go. Someone there in the inside, on the middle, that looks to be the 8 of Harrison Callion, trying to see if he can do something. He actually moved up there and tried to make a move, but nobody really went with him. Actually, that's 24 Jimmy Hayden going there. He was the one who was stuck in the sucker hole a couple laps ago. Yeah, maybe finding his help.
Got some help from Dustin Dewar there. It looks like Dylan Javier was maybe thinking about it, potentially the 03 as well. And something you'll notice with these guys a lot, they'll kind of stalemate out if there's nobody in front of them to give them a pull. But the second somebody pulls out in front of somebody that's leading a lane, the surge that they get from that is insane. Is right now Pete Morales, contact with the 80.
There they go.
Big wreck, the 20 of Gavin Higgins, David Westergreen, Ray Bracey, Noah Brown, Sam Boutwell. Somebody's catching air down there. Yeah.
I think we might have seen the big one here in lap 6. Unfortunately, that was somebody took a huge hit there. I think that was Gavin Higgins who went straight in the outside wall. That car's
head onto the outside wall. Get a look at it here on the replay cam shortly. I mean, that is huge. That is at least 10, maybe 15 cars involved. Pete Morales goes down on Dustin Dewar and then wiggles up and tags the 80. Just a little bit of unawareness. So that's going to cause a lot of guys a lot of damage here. The 31's going to get involved. The 49 involved. Yeah, that was a massive one here. Lots of cars going to be out. You see Gavin Higgins, no front end on that thing. He went straight into the outside retaining wall.
Yeah, not something you want to see this early on, because that's a lot of cars, and that's really gonna a lot of cars that probably had a good shot to win this one too in that one. So, and not what you want to see this early on. Lap 6, and a lot of these guys' race might be over already.
All right, well, have to see how many.
We're hearing that the tally on there is going to be on the 95, and I don't think any pit stops really needed just yet. Lap 6, I don't think I saw anyone really take that opportunity just yet. So I think we are good right now. Just going to run the caution, but definitely. I'm trying to see if we can get a number of how many cars were in that. I got to think it was probably around 15, maybe even a couple more, a couple less there. But just definitely looking through the field here, there's quite a few cars with a lot of damage, quite a few cars with a little bit that looks like they can maybe get it fixed here. We're seeing some pit stops further on back from some of those cars with damage.
Noah Brown, he was involved.
Dave Carpenter chose to come in. He was running near the front. So it's about half and half here. Some of the cars, despite Paul Mikulicek, he was also near the front. Probably just getting some quick fuel. Not really going to worry about tires or anything for most of this race at a super speedway. If anything, your right sides might wear after about 40 laps. So just a little bit, but either way, it's just going to be fuel here. And Ty, I'm not sure if we got a fuel number. Did we get a fuel number from anyone here?
I cannot say we did. I can check on that for you.
At some point, that might be a good thing to know, but I don't think we're quite approaching it just yet here on lap 8. hearing some chatter from some of the drivers here that were involved. Hearing about 15 minutes of damage for some cars, which is a crazy amount of damage there. Yeah, there's the 20 of Gavin Higgins on the screen. He's the one that shot up straight in the outside wall head on. And obviously, I think his night's going to be over with. There's Sam Boutwell and that Chrome machine damaged. Josh Osborne, Pete Morales, the driver who had the tally. Dustin Dewar, one of the drivers that was definitely going to have a shot tonight. And yeah, just a lot of drivers here that I think probably we were going to see up at the front later in the race. So we'll see if long way to go. We're on lap 8 of 80, so we're 10% of the way through the race. A lot of time to go with more cautions and some more wrecks like that. We might see the drivers be able to get some of that damage fixed. And can we get a camera on the 54 of Rashaf Khosla real quick? He just exited the pits. That car has a pretty severe crab, so I'm not sure how that's going to be running, but he is pointing towards the inside wall as he is. Yeah, right there. He's got a pretty severe crab going on with that thing, so that's gonna be interesting to drive for him.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's going to drive too fun. We do have a fuel number, about 33-ish laps on a tank. So if you popped off here, you're going to be good till about the 42, 43-ish range. You won't be quite able to make it to the end, which I think is why we saw a half-and-half decision there. Some guys want to make it a little further. Some guys only want to pit unless they can make it to the end. So we will see how that can go.
All right, yeah, definitely cool. So good to know that. And, you know, that little extra fuel does tend to make a difference at a lot of moments in the race. Very comical seeing that 54 Rashaf Khosla drive like that, pointing towards the pit road as he is actually not going towards pit road, but actually is going towards pit road now. So maybe that car, maybe we will not see that car the rest of the night. We'll see. We'll have to see. But get a little bit of a top 10 regroup here for you. It's Jacob Adams leaving. Caleb Kumer, he's second. Austin and Abnett third. Pierce Hausler fourth. Jaden Racimas fifth. Mark Arillis is sixth. Frank Fodi is seventh. Ryan Borges eighth. Harrison Talion is ninth. And Scotty Larson, he is 10th.
So we get ready to go here. Jacob Adams going to lead us back to the green. Caleb Kumer is outside. We got the big one out of the way. I don't think we're quite done with the aggression out of these guys, though, despite all of that. Some of these guys are still mangled, but are back out here. So we'll have to see how they go. But we do have a 6-lap rule, so if they go 6 laps down, they will be parked, but we'll see how they go.
Yep, pace truck is in pit road there. Starter has the field or the green flag in his hand. There we go. Good start in the inside for Jacob Adams. A few cars getting a little bit spread out here on the initial start, but I think everything more or less good. I see a couple cars in the back having struggling to get up to speed here, but through turns 1 and 2, Jacob Adams on the inside leading Austin and Abnett. That 59 of Caleb Kumer on the outside with a push from behind from that looks to be the 61 of Pierce Hausler. Yep, see if they can do anything. Getting juking here on the backstretch. Thought there was some contact there, but we are all good through into turn number 3.
We see right now that outside lane, Pierce Hausler, Caleb Kumer, a couple of teammates trying to get going. Austin Abnett, one of their other teammates right now behind Jacob Adams. As they come out of turn 4, Adams is going to lead this lap. Somebody maybe looking to go 3 wide a little bit further back, decides not to. Right now, everybody's packed up pretty tight other than those cars that have significant damage at the rear.
Yep, and it's I think it's about, I'm seeing about 25 cars or so up in this main pack, maybe a little bit more there, maybe about 30, 27, 30, 28, 29, 30-ish. And I think so. We still got quite a few cars here left in the race that can probably win this race, but some of those drivers a little bit further on back probably need some more cautions to get back up here. But I think right now, first time we've really seen a single file line in the race. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars back to Fodi in the 41. And then 2 wide, a little bit of 3 wide behind them. So these front 5 cars looking to kind of spread out a little bit, maybe get some laps under the belt.
A bit further back, Dylan Javier maybe looking to make it 3 wide with James Watson and those around him, but I think it's going to sort itself out. It's not James Watson, actually. That is I believe, the 89 of Brent Jones, another vibrant car. Microbiolus leading the outside lane, just a couple cars back. I don't think it's too much of a hard charge out there for those guys. A lot of cars on the inside lane. The inside's very dominant right now.
Yep, Peter Sausler to the outside right now. He's going to see if he can get some momentum from behind that number 99 of Rebellis. I think here they go. They're going to do something down the backstretch. And Mark Rebellis is doing something there, pushing the 61. Some reports of something happening a little bit further on back.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an incident. The 07 was pushing the 17, and the 17 got squiggly and hit the 32. That's a couple of cars that are just trying to maintain what they can and not go 6 laps down. No caution there, nothing really severe.
Yeah, just some things happening further on back, but up at the front, Jacob Adams keeping his lead, doing he's playing both lanes right now. Was on the bottom, now he's on the middle lane there with that push from Inadmin. Oh, we have a wreck there.
Oh!
Something happened, and
Jimmy Hayden.
I can't see. Yeah, Jimmy Hayden,
Corey Abbott, Dylan Hamir. Oh! Let's go get a look at it.
Ooh, the 2-car.
Yeah,
Scotty Larson.
Just kind of pulled up on the 57 there. There were reports he was blinking. Unfortunately, I think that's a pretty clear-cut choice there, despite blinking or not. Somebody took a hard hit. I think it was Corey Abbott, significantly into the outside wall there. So that's, yeah.
30-car of Connor Thompson coming in there at the end. Paul Michaelachik, no front end. Number 4 of Kyle Harner, his first race of the series. There's the 49. Yeah, Tony Graham, something happened to him. I'm not sure if he had the front end before, that happened under caution. I think he was coming up on the back of the 03 right there of Trenton Roloff, and just, did he lock up the brakes or something? Because that was pretty weird that happened. That's not something you would expect here. That's on the backstretch, kind of near the sports car chicane, so not something you would typically expect to happen. Good shout there for the iRacing 24. That is happening this weekend, so any sports car fans, be aware of that. And we also, for Elite has a sports car league, this solo racing series coming back here this year, starting. I'm not exactly sure where just yet. It's on April 25th for the 4 hours of Laguna Seca. So just a little shout for that. We have a little incident under caution. The 52 of Dave Huckleberry just got rammed into from whoever that was behind him. Let me just go look at that, because that was pretty. It was it was big enough to see from just a perspective view. Either way, yeah, we got a lot going on here for tonight. So Daytona is not proving to be a boring race. Lap 15 right now.
Got a mixed strategy call here. Fuel-wise, Jacob Adams pitted. A lot of people behind him did. Mark Urbiles, Peter Falzone, and Roloff have decided not to. So 3 cars who have not pitted yet. 15 laps in, so even then you cannot make it to the end. A lot of these guys just trying to maybe minimize it as much as possible. Oh, Roloff has pitted. He pitted at the lap 7 incident. Hasn't pitted since then, so he's up 33 spots. We can actually take a look at your biggest movers. They're going to be pretty shaken up. My money is on the fact that he might be the biggest, up 33 spots. His roll off, 27 for Falzone, 12 for Harrison Talon there on your screen. Borges up 8. $21 for James Watson. Going on. Yeah, that's going to be your biggest one. James Watson, 21. 13 for Michael Goodman. 22 for Brent Jones.
Well, we're hearing Pete Morales, one of the drivers who was in the first wreck. He is, but he will be coming out of the infield care center here in just a moment, and we will get a word with him right after we go green here. So we'll see what he has to say about tonight's event. That unfortunately for him only lasted about 7 laps or so. So, but right now let's get a quick little re-rack of the top 10. It's Mark Rebillis, your leader. Trenton Roloff second. Philip Falzone is second, Trenton Roloff third, Jacob Adams fourth, Austin and Abnett fifth, sixth is Caleb Pecumer, Ryan Borges is seventh, Harrison Talley eighth, Frank Fody ninth, and James Watson is 10th. So yeah, definitely a lot of shakeup here. Your first 3 cars actually in here all started outside the top 10. So just one of the little things we noted during the pre-race that there is going to be a lot of shifting and moving throughout the field tonight. It's definitely not a matter of where you start, it's where you finish. It's really quite literally the opposite of that. So definitely seeing that here. But yeah, Mark Rebillis, he has been one of the front runners here. Has a couple top 5s in the season so far, and looking to get some points. We noted that Caleb Pecumer has been the dominant driver of the season, but definitely tonight is kind of a wild card race in the sense that, you know, it's not necessarily going to be a matter of being the fastest is going to be the best way to do it. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Pace truck has pulled off there, and we are green here at Daytona once again. Good start from Mark Rebillis on the bottom there. A bit of a disjointed start on the outside there. Philip Falzone did not get going whatsoever. So Mark Rebillis actually has about a 2-car length lead going into turn 1. Falzone still not able to get going. Something might be wrong with that race car because he just cannot get up to speed. And Jacob Adams looking to go 3 wide right now. He's got to be frustrated being stuck behind that car because he was your leader just a couple laps ago. So definitely looking to see if he can get around. I think Philip Falzone finally up to speed.
Oh, we got 3 wide there. Peter Falzone, Jacob Adams, 24, Jimmy Hayden, James Watson. I think Falzone's going to be in the sucker hole there. He's got a little bit of a help, maybe from the 57, I think that is. That's not the 57, that's Pierce Hausler.
Falzone looks like he's having trouble with this car a little bit. That car was moving all over the place in the corner. Look right there. He's almost sliding up into the number 8 of Harrison.
Oh, he's going to
some
make contact
there.
Yeah,
I think.
He's going to turn the 3. Pierce Hausler involved. Dominic Wright. Golly, if you're that damaged, I don't really know why you would stay out. That's a choice.
I think that was a wreck that happened right in front of our eyes, and a pretty cut and dry one right there, I'd have to say, for race control purposes. But definitely, we'll get a replay just to confirm. But I think the 3 was kind of doing nothing there.
A little bit of a toss up there.
And unfortunate for Logan Key there in the Abbott Motorsports machine. He was kind of just trying to mind his own business, and not much you can do when you get right reared in that kind of a situation. Right there, I'd say he moved up a little bit, but that was not so much a moving up as just a normal race car movement. These cars do move around here at Daytona. You got to give a little bit of space. It's not just a matter of they're not a rails. So a couple other drivers there. Connor Thompson, he has broken the right front of his car and not able to steer it anymore.
We had an off-road excursion from Mr. Cale Pocock in the 66. A little bit of a jump there for him. So these guys are now driving Baja trucks by the sounds of it. Oh yeah, you can. Oh man, you can see him there. He did a bit of a jump there.
Yeah, if we can get a close up there, yeah. Let's get a. Let's just look at this wreck here, and we'll see what happens. Definitely goes jumping here, and yeah, that car actually just wanted to. That car is a throwback to Greg Biffle's his 2003 rookie Cup season car, and a car that won at Daytona under the lights back in 2003. Won the Pepsi 400. Greg Biffle's first win, so cool to see that here. It had number 16, obviously in real life. It now has 66 here in this series, but otherwise mostly the same scheme.
Well, we have a second. We can maybe chat with Pete now that he's out of the infield care center. Now that we have a second.
Yep, I think that would be a great idea. We'll bring them up here. Hey, Pete Morales, this is Cameron Rich up the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, man.
All right. Well, an unfortunate end to your night. It only lasted a handful of laps here, but tell us about what you saw from the windshield and what went wrong for you.
Well, the 80 was in the wall. He was like scraping the wall quite a few times, and kind of kicked up my anxiety a little. And yeah, I don't know why I decided to force the issue in turn one. So just tore myself up and tore up a bunch of race cars in the process, and took us out. And definitely not the night that I was looking for. So yeah, I do apologize for all the for what happened out there to everyone else that was involved in that wreck. That was on me. I don't know what I was thinking, but oh well. I guess we'll just keep our heads up for Phoenix. But very unfortunate night here for us.
Yeah, bit of an up and down season for you so far. 35th at Texas, then you had that great run at Atlanta, getting third. 11th at Belle Isle. Tonight's not going to be what you wanted, but you know it is about learning and it is about growing as a driver. You mentioned Phoenix. How are you feeling about that one?
Well, I'm gonna try to see what I can do. I mean, I will be practicing for the Rolex, so and practicing for Phoenix is not going to be an easy task, but I'll try and put some in as much as I can. And like I said, just keep our heads up and keep our head in the game.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go, Pete, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to my spotter Jess. He's a great guy. Couldn't come in for me last week, but he was here this week. But it all came short.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, spotter is definitely a important part of the equation here, and probably no more so than a track like this. But yeah, tough break here tonight, Pete, and we'll hope to talk to you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, it was Pete Morales, your 8th place driver in points coming into tonight. So definitely, I'd say that's going to take a hit with a 43rd place finish. He's going to be your last place driver on the field. Not what you want to see, but either way, yeah, this series is about learning, growing as a driver, and we would expect mistakes to be made here and there. That's completely normal for the process, and as long as you can learn from them and grow from them, that is completely fine. Let's get a quick re-rack of the top 10 here. It's still Mark Billis, your leader. Trenton Roloff is second. Austin Abbott is third. 4th place, Jimmy Hayden. 5th place, James Watson. 6th place is Ryan Borges. Frank Fody is 7th. Jacob Adams 8th. Caleb Humer 9th. And Ray Bracy. He was actually involved in the first wreck. Has gotten that machine fixed up. He is back in the top 10. So see him right there in that Bojo sponsored machine. And Pusheen, his cat, is probably co-piloting in there and doing a great job. So might be a mechanic too. Might have helped get that car fixed up a little bit after. I think there was some pretty heavy damage. There's David Westergreen too there as well. A couple cars behind. He was also involved here. So we are seeing some of these cars that were involved in that first wreck, maybe even in the second wreck, have some opportunity to get cars fixed up, get the body panels banged out, get the suspension back in line. It's really a whole process. Just depending on what you hit, how hard you hit it, and we'll see if these cars can actually be competitive and maybe stay in the hunt for the win. But yeah, lap 21 here. We're going to be on lap 22 as we get the green. Still plenty of racing to go here at Daytona. We aren't even close to being in the even in the window of making it on fuel at this point. So I'd say that the aggression we've seen up to this point is probably going to be permanent. So he's truck as we come through turn at number 4 here. He'll be taking that hard left turn into pit road, as he does right there. So the field is in the hands of Mark Rabilis on the inside. We'll see what kind of a restart he can get. Inside has been the line of choice tonight for that. And there we go. Once again, great restart for Rabilis. He's going to gap about 3-4 car lengths as we get through the tri-oval here at Daytona. So we'll see if that usually is not a good thing at a super speedway. You will get eaten up by the pack behind you. We'll see if Trenton Roloff decides to follow Rabilis as he does there, or if he decides to go high. He does not. Here comes Jimmy Aiden on the outside through turns 1 and 2. We'll see how that outside line can stack up. He's got a push from Borges behind.
Right now, about a dead heat down the backstretch.
Yep, side by side, and Jimmy Aiden's actually going to take the lead here briefly into turn number 3 with that push from Borges, but that's not a strong push. It's just a push that is going to nose him ahead. Dead heat through 3 and 4 here. Looking at the field, we still got quite a few competitive cars. The lines are pretty even here up at the front, and I think we'll say about we'll call that about, caution's out. '54 Rashaf Khosla. There's Logan Key. To see what happened here, because this was a little bit further on back. We didn't have direct view of this.
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky incident. I'm going to have to say, I mean, like, I understand that Josh is trying to get around the lap car, but we kind of we can't just go up and try to force a lane when there isn't one. So that's a pretty cut, dry, and clear call for me, personally. Just get one more good look at it here. Yeah, words are hard. You know, English is my first language, but sometimes I mess it up now and then. Yeah, it's just...
I would say I'd have to agree with you there on that one, Ty. Just
while we are sorting through the caution, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break for you, but we'll be right back after this.
Tickets for the 2026 season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
All right. Back here at the Daytona International Speedway, working our fifth caution of the night. And quite a few cars here involved. I think about three, 4, or 5 cars involved here. And right now, Jimmy Hayden is your leader in that number 24 machine. It's been a pretty crazy night here for the Daytona 200. 5 cautions in the span of 25 laps. I think I'd say it's a pretty long night at this point, but still have a lot of drivers out here on the racetrack. I'm showing that we have, let's see, at least 31 cars that look like they're still kind of in the race there, back to Dustin Dewar, 2 laps down. So really, if we go by the 6-lap down rule, we got 35 still left in the race. I think a couple of those are going to be parked here in just a moment. But 1 lap to go here for the restart. We'll go ahead and we'll re-rack the top 10 here. It's Jimmy Hayden. We mentioned him. He's the leader. Started 4th. He's been up at the front all night, doing a good job. Being where he needs to be. We saw him in the sucker hole earlier in the race, and he fell from 1st all the way back to about 20th place in the span of about 2 corners here. So learned some lessons there. We talked about that, and he figured it out. He's up here at the front. Mark Billis, he's 2nd. He was leading a couple of cautions ago. Brian Borges is 3rd, trying to roll off as 4th. Jacob Adams is 5th. Austin Abnett, he's 6th. 7th is James Watson. 8th is Ray Bracey. Dave Carpenter is 9th, and Frank Fody is 10th. Turn number 3 here. Looking at the number 7 of Ray Bracey. In 8th place, he started back at 24th. That car was looking quite a bit more banged up about 20 laps ago. He was in the first wreck of the night and may or may not have looked a little bit hopeless for that car, but he got it all fixed up here for the most part. And Ray Bracey, one of the drivers that we have seen run well at these super speedways before, so definitely do not count him out for the latter stages of this race. But once again, yeah, we're gonna look for a restart here. It's our 4th caution night, so our 4th restart. Pace truck pulls off right there. Field is in the hands of Jimmy Hayden. He's on the inside. That inside has been great all night. And there we go. Once again, Borges and Hayden got 2 great restarts. Jacob Adams caught sleeping just a little bit. He's going to be fighting Mark Billis for track position here into turn number 1. But Hayden and Borges are like they were shot out of a cannon there. Maybe about a 4-car length lead into turn number 1, but I would expect the pack to catch them relatively shortly here as we roll through turn 2 here. Single file for the first 5 cars in the pack. Back to Dave Carpenter in the Wheaties machine there. And then Mark Billis, him and Roloff are the only 2 cars on the outside right now that look like they are trying to do anything. Slowly, sorry, I was going to say slowly seeing this pack dwindle down a little bit with each passing caution. It's looking a little bit more thin than it has at this point.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably weighing on everybody right now, right? We have these wrecks that are, unfortunately, and I don't mean to attack anybody, but I feel like they're for some pretty stupid incidents. So I think everybody's trying to maybe make it to the end here. We're not even halfway yet, so there's nothing to really race for right now, because at this point you still have to make a green flag pit stop if we go green. So you're not really fighting for anything more than just getting to pit road first. So
absolutely saw a car there getting to the wall on the outside. That green and yellow car, didn't see who that was. Not the 39 of Watson, but somebody a little bit further on back. I think we're good though. So a little bit single file here. Bojo, Ray Bracey, the first car on the outside line there with some help from Mark Billis and company. And actually Borges and Adams pull up there on the outside line, take that momentum, and they take the lead. So Yeah, move the 42 of Borges with a big push from behind.
Oh,
Jacob
we got a
Adams.
wreck in the back. Cale
Oh, here we
Pocock,
go.
Michael Goodman. Other cars involved.
Harrison Talion, I see. That car is all sorts of damage there. We'll see what happened, but yeah, lap 29 here, yet another.
Everybody's a little bit of a check. Yeah, that's a checkup. 46 gets to the outside of the 66 and just goes up and tags Michael Goodman.
Oh my goodness, ramped up over him. Yeah, unfortunate incident there. Definitely a big checkup involved. 46 did not able to get the car woed down at all, and see the calamity that caused there. That was a huge hit.
I mean, I feel like, at least from my perspective as race control, the checkup was pretty big. I know Cale did check up and go low. I would almost have to say that that's kind of a racing deal because we're expecting it, but I don't know. It's a tough call.
Well, as with tough calls here, why don't we give some more why don't we give some more time to our great sponsors here and just go for a quick break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick group. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Tickets for the 2026 season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
Back here at Daytona, 31 laps in, working our fifth caution of the night. Ryan Borges is your leader with teammate Jacob Adams second, Marco Bilas third, Roloff fourth, and Jimmy Hayden in fifth. That last race, or the last yellow, was deemed a racing deal, unfortunately, just a checkup that not anybody could really do too much of. So we are going to be pacing with about 30, or let's see, lap 32 is when I would assume we would go back green. So we're going to have about 49, 48 to go. Looking at it, the rest of your top 10, Dave Carpenter 6th, Jaden Racine 7th, Brent Jones 8th, Falzone 9th, Winter in 10th, Watson 11th, Westergreen 12th, and Abnett 13th, Ray Bracey 14th, and I believe 15th, as I'm trying to look through this. Mine is not live at the moment. 14th would be Frank Fody, 15th would be Austin Sal.
One lap to go here, and it certainly has not been short on excitement and other types of excitement and chaos. So we've had everything here tonight so far. Borges and Adams look like they are working very well together. They've been drafting pretty well up here at the front, and we're making pretty strong moves. So I think if they're able to keep themselves around each other for the rest of this race, I would say that duo right there is probably going to be one of the stronger ones to look at. Definitely as we get through the cautions here and as we get more cars damaged and out of the race, it looks like we have about when we get to the cars 6 laps down, 33 laps or 33 cars still in the race, probably about to be 31 with a couple cars looking like they're not going to be moving out of that position. So here Logan Key, actually, he just hit that 6 laps down mark, so he will be parked for the night. And yeah, definitely as we lose cars here, that also means we lose teammates. Some of these drivers probably had a plan going into tonight to work with teammates and such like that. And if your teammates are involved in accidents, then it definitely becomes a bit of a harder thing to do there. So looking at our pit strategy or pit strategy here, Ryan Borges has not pitted in 17 laps. He's up 14 spots from his starting position, the position number 15. So obviously as your leader. But looking through here, seeing that Mark Rabillis has actually not pitted yet at all, so he's got to be running. He's got to be actually getting pretty close to the fuel number here, which we discussed earlier on, is about 33 laps or so. Of course, with cautions that dwindles down, but Mark Rabillis, he's going to have to probably pit here if we go about 5, 6, 7, 8 laps under green here. But green flag is out once again. Good start for that number 42 of Borges, and immediate caution. Seeing Pecumer shooting back across the track, and wow. Let's see what happened here. Oh my goodness, right into the back of the 12 of Dominic Wright. Pecumer went. So look at
Yeah,
that
we
once again.
had a pretty significant checkup on that restart. It looked like the 07 did not go. Cale Pocock left a pretty big gap to him as well.
Yeah, I think I'd have to somewhat put that on the 07 because he's dangerously slow as the rest of the field is just going. I mean, nobody else can really do anything behind him. Yeah. He downshifted, actually, is what he's saying. So that would explain why the car just did not actually accelerate whatsoever. And with that, the 07 officially getting the tally, and that would be his second of the night. And it means that the 07 Josh Osborne, his race will end here at lap 34. And unfortunately, we'll not see him for the rest of the night. But I would have to say that that's, yeah, I mean, especially the 2 cautions in a row that weren't charged as a racing deal. I have to think that somebody would have to, so we have to knock him send to that 07 just a little bit, but he will be parked. So and there's Cale Pocock also involved. That front end a little bit beat up there, not as straight and proper as it was at the start of the race. But all these cautions given a lot of opportunity for a lot of drivers with damage to fix their cars. So that's probably why we still have about 31 cars left in the race.
Yeah, and I like if somebody's got to win out of the deal, it's certainly not us. So why not the guys that have damage? Corey Abbott has had multiple cautions to fix his car, and that front end contact that he made with the outside wall has not been fixed. So he's thankful for him. I'm sure he is, but everybody else, I mean, we've been here for almost an hour, and we have not even gone halfway through. And This is the dev series, but I think at some point we kind of have to think about things that we're doing on the racetrack and maybe realize that we're the problem.
It is the commentator's fault tonight that the race has gone away. I will take full accountability for that as the commentator. I'm actually personally driving every single car there. But yeah. Yeah, but I would agree with you. We probably need to calm down just a little bit. Maybe just get some laps under green here. I think really the longest run we've had is about 5 laps of green flag racing. So I'm sure that the viewers and everybody would love to see some racing here, and not 55-mile-an-hour interstate driving. We can see that wherever we want. I-95 quite looks like this literally every day. So we'll see what we can do. As we thin the field down just a little bit, though, one could expect we will eventually hit a point where we will have to get green flag racing because we have too little cars to cause any problems there. But there's Michael Goodman. Oh goody, that front end is not looking good. He's been in a few wrecks tonight, and it's been not a boring night for the 44, but not in the good way. Looking like a modified in the front there with the whole radiator and everything exposed to the air. It's typically not going to be the best aerodynamic situation at a track like this, where aerodynamics are quite literally everything you do. So, not going to be the. I think at this point we're looking more like a Bristol race than Daytona with all the wreck cars. Just as much. I think the 21 of Abbott, they put the front end back on the car. Let's see if we can get back up over to him somehow. He's a little bit further on back. Yes, they certainly did. Look at that. Big props to the team of the 21 machine. They finally found the front end in the back of the truck, and they put it on the race car here after 36 laps. So
I genuinely think they might have had to run up the banking and pry it out of the wall at this point. That might have been what took them so long.
Yeah, that typically is not going to be the best rescue operation there. They might have had to get a helicopter out there to go retrieve it or something like that. But either way, it's back on the car, and I'm sure Goody, who's right in front of him, probably wishes he had somewhat of a similar fate. They could go find the front end of that machine. I don't think ARCA teams or ARCA rules even allow whole spare parts like that. So I do think they had to do what you said there, Ty, and go pry it out of the wall. Because Mark Rabillas, he finally pits after 35 laps and gets some fuel in that race car. So I'm sure Mark Rabillas was happy to see that caution too, because if we didn't get it, he was going to have to pit under green when everybody else was all right. So that would have been a race ender for him. But pace truck is off. Field's in the hands of Ryan Borges, and it's a good start here at the front. Borges, Adams, and Carpenter is your top 3. Carpenter was your pole sitter tonight, and he's been back and forth in the field, but he's still clean, and that's what matters here. Oh, the 60 of Nabna is sideways. We have yet another immediate caution here on lap 37, and we are not going to get any sort of green flag racing, it looks like. So we'll rewind here and see what happens. It definitely starts with the 41 of Fody. That's Frank Fody. He gets down in the 60 of Austin and Nabnett, and they just kind of go wrecking.
Yeah, Frank checked up, and there was just a whole bunch of just me wumbo, you wumbo, they wumbo. Yeah, we'll have to get a look at it from.
Well, why don't we go ahead and do it again? Let's give our great sponsors some more ad time tonight, because we want to get as much into this race so that we'll get the revenue. Don't have to worry about the rest of the season, but we'll be back in just a moment.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Tickets for the 2026 season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing picture. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Right back here at Daytona International Speedway, we are working our 7th caution of the night. And that's going to be on the 41 of Frank Fody. Looks like he missed a shift, did not get going under green there, and just caused a little bit of a stack up there. But we are actually, the good news here tonight, we are almost at halfway. We will be one more trip around the Speedway here, and we will be at the halfway mark. So if you liked what you saw tonight, there's plenty more of it. And if you don't like what you just saw tonight, I'm very sorry. We're probably in the same boat a little bit here, but one lap to green. We'll re-rack the top 10 here once again. Actually, let's re-rack the whole top 20 because we have 26 on the lead lap. We'll re-rack the top 20 here real quick. Shaken Adams, he's leading. Brian Borges is second. Dave Carpenter third. Jaden Racine is fourth. Fifth is Bright Jones. Sixth is Eric Whitner. Seventh, David Westergreen. Eighth is Philip Palzone. Ninth, Ray Bracey. James Watson is at position number 10. Hayden 11th. Shea Mitchell 12th. Sam Beltwell 13th. Mark Billis 14th. 15th is Dominic Wright. Dave Huckleberry in the 52 is 16th. 17th is Noah Brown. 18th is Dustin Dewar. 19th is Austin Sal. And Austin Anabnett is position number 120.
All right, looking through your field, all these race cars that are left. Sorry, we had a little race control whoopsie. I think we both did things that were not correct. I tried to clear a penalty that wasn't there, and the command didn't work. But we're good. We're fine now. We're alive. Looking at, I believe that is Harrison Talon trying to catch up. Some of these guys trying to work through damage repairs. And we're going to be halfway this time, and everybody in the field except for one car, Mr. Michael Goodman, has their nose on. Got Your Nose takes a whole new level in a new meeting when we go to Daytona. Pace truck is in. Shift teammate's going to lead us back to the green. Borges on the top side. Adams going to lead us on the bottom side. Green flag in the air. I would expect them to try to work back into formation. Borges should just drop right back down. Maybe not. Going to stay side by side. Jaden Racimus on the outside lane. Dave Carpenter helping the bottom with Brent Jones supporting him. Both lanes pretty even so far, I would have to say. Getting back up to speed. See Sam Batwell working his way back up towards the top 10 after being involved in one of the first wrecks of the night. David Westergreen down there as well.
I think if we can make it to turn 3 here, which right there we did. That's our longest green flag run in about 10 laps. So it shows you how this race has gone tonight.
Doesn't sound like a lot, but for us, it means the world. I would come to tears if I could. Ryan Borges is going to be out front with a huge shove from Jaden Racimus out of 4. He's going to lead lap number 42. Everybody's still pretty much double file a little bit further back. This is the most cars we've had gathered up thanks to these yellows. And quite a bit, too. I feel like we're formed back up now, which either means we're going to have a lot more wrecks or we're going to maybe calm down. Probably not. It's definitely not going to be the latter.
It's a double-edged sword there. Plenty of time to get the damage fixed, but also plenty of time to get the damage fixed. So a lot more cars are going to be left in the race and be competitive than they were if it weren't the other way. Jaden Racimus looking inside of Ryan Borges into turn number 3. Going to use that push from 48 of Jacob Adams behind. We'll see what happens with that. It's got a push from the 71 of Dave Carpenter. And I think, he's going to take the lead out of turn number 4 here. Not going to be under contention. So give a lap lead to the number 1 of Jaden Racimus. I believe that's the first of the night for him. And while we are under green here, we have we're going to go ahead and pull Josh Adams into the booth here. See if we can find him. And someone who's apparently bored and frustrated just with us. So Josh Adams will be a permanent. Josh Adams, Cameron Rich up in the booth. You got a copy? Well, he's so bored and frustrated that he's not even here. So we'll wait for him to get back here. And we got a battle for the lead here. Jacob Adams, he's going to look around the outside, try to get the push and make in front of Racimus. He leads the lap, but he's not going to be able to pull down in front of Racimus. And he's actually looking to get, might have almost got sucker hold there. That's going to...
3 wide.
Not going to... Yeah, that just completely killed the top line there.
Oh, the 17's not clear. He's going to turn himself. The 31 in the middle.
That was almost a disaster here. Couldn't get that out of my mouth, but 44 laps in, and some of these drivers have not learned their lesson just yet. We are still all over the place. Jacob Adams is falling back pretty quickly. I'm sure he's not too happy with his teammate there for that one, but such goes the way of things sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean it's something that we're not used to seeing with some of these guys is the speed run of first to last like that, especially when it comes off of a teammate's nose. So not gonna be too happy about that. But David Westergreen and Ray Bracey, 2 teammates, making their first appearance inside the top 5 tonight. Bojo with a huge push to the back of that number 9 machine. You'll notice Pushkin is on both of those cars. We love Pushkin here.
And right now, at least, doing the teammate thing better. Those two are nose to tail, and they've taken the lead.
They're going to both clear down to the bottom. I would imagine that's probably going to be the best decision for them right now. The top side has the momentum, but a little bit further back on that top side is their other teammate, James Watson. And if those 3 can get in a line, I feel like they're going to be a pretty formidable unit here. Dave Westergreen's going to lead this lap. I think Cam's having a couple issues, potentially. Jaden Racimus 3rd in line, Dave Carpenter 4th. That line is actually pulling pretty decently from the backside. We've got an incident going on somewhere. Let me see if I can get a look at it.
Looks like Whitner and Gordon, they had a little bit of a moment there in turns 1 and 2, and they slowed up the entire top line. So we no longer have a top line. Once again, James Watson, he was harmed by that just a little bit. Going to be slow down the back here, but is still straight, still going at least. So not sure what happened there. I'll have to look back at it.
We are really starting to calm down right now. Only a couple cars side by side inside the top 10. That's Sam Boutwell, Dominic Wright, Ryan Borges and Marco Bialis. Everybody else, for the most part, single file. So maybe everybody tired of the shenanigans and just wanting to get this thing over and done with. And what a better time for them to decide to do that if you're David Westergreen and Ray Bracey, other than when you get to the front, because I'm sure they're breathing a little heavier or a little easier right now.
Yeah, it's great to lead a Daytona. It's great to not see all those cars in front of you because it's a lot kind of better for everything. You get more air to the engine. You're not worried about overheat and things like that. And ooh, Jimmy Hayden, he's a little bit sideways there. They're 3 wide down the backstretch. They're trying to go 4 or 5 wide. Not sure what happened there. They're making evasive moves around someone. Sam Boutwell in the middle, but I think it's going on behind him. It was Whitner that got kind of split there, but I think everybody's going to keep it straight. We're kind of somewhat trying to wreck your tie, but I think we don't have enough cars to really make it at this point. But hey, I think that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, if we were a little, just a tick higher in that 30-some lap range, I think we would definitely be there. But right now, everybody's calm for the most part. We're split into about 2 different packs. We've got guys with damage a little further off of this lead pack. I think really we're close to about 3 packs almost. But as we work lap 48, David Westergreen, your leader. Ray Bracey, 2nd. 3rd, Jaden Racimus. 4th, Dave Carpenter. 5th, Sam Boutwell. 6th, Brent Jones. 7th, Dominic Wright. 8th, Jimmy Hayden. 9th, James Watson. And 10th is going to be Eric Winter. So that's your top 10. Harrison Talon's going to go a 2nd lap down.
That car is majorly off the pace. I'd have to think that he doesn't have much time left here if we go green, but if we get another caution, maybe he'll get it fixed up a little bit more and whatnot. But got to make sure he doesn't go 6 laps down, or else that will be the end of the night for that driver. So South Shore Machines up here. Bracey and Westergreen doing a good job working together well. They're really kind of controlling that bottom lane themselves and not really having too much of a pressure moment from behind. Dave Carpenter is there, and then it's Jaden Racimus on the outside line, but really no teammates to speak of up here at the front just yet.
Right now, speaking of 2 teammates, we saw a little bit of a mishap between them a couple laps ago, but right now Ryan Borges, Jacob Adams, they are back bumper to bumper at the tail end of the field. So I would imagine that maybe not the way that they wanted it to happen, but with the way that this race has gone, they might be a little bit more comfortable back there, I would have to guess. Caleb Pakemer riding out back there, so is Austin Sal. So a lot of things shaking up a little differently.
Yep, and really I would say as a driver at Daytona, you either want to be at the very front and the very back of the pack, so either be like Ray Bracey or David Westergreen, or be those 2 shift cars at the very back. The middle of the pack, kind of where Jimmy Hayden is right there in that purple machine, or James Watson in the bright yellow and green. That's kind of a dangerous spot there as they lap someone.
Bryce Fody. Oh, the 31 just turned into him.
Wow,
Golly.
okay, huge hit.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, that was interesting. Look at what happened here again. We're focused on the 31, and he just kind of drives into Bryce Fody, and I believe that my list is correct. It's going to be the end of the night for that driver. And unfortunately for Ryan Borges here, we'll go on board with him at the back of the pack and still involved in the accident. So it is just a testament to how volatile this type of super speedway racing can be. When you're in a pack, you're at the mercy of everyone else around you. And as we kind of talked about in the very beginning of the broadcast, your night can be ended by a mistake, not even of your own doing. And so many things can play out. We saw Ryan Borges and Adams. They got split up there. Borges went to the back, and right as he gets there, he involved in the accident. So somebody might have money shifted here. Jay Mitchell here he just about lost his entire transmission. Money shifted under caution, and Apparently heard some things rattling around there, but it's still somewhat under control there. Everybody out down pit road here, except for the number 99 of Mark Billis. So he's going to be the lone wolf that stays out, and that's an interesting pit call right there. Billis probably taking the adage of, you know, it's better to not have anything out front than have tires and fuel and all that. So we do know that he was the last driver to pit. Actually went 35 laps before he pitted, so he's still relatively good on fuel at this point. So definitely an interesting call from Mark Billis. I don't hate it, considering he did pit a little bit later. We have some incidents on pit road here. Sam Boutwell and Cale Pocock into it.
Yeah,
it's Hardcastle involved as well.
let's see.
It's like Hardcastle was trying to get into his pit stall. Was he out of place there?
We got guys coming out of him and yeah, so Bracy and Wright were trying to get in. They're trying to get out. Cale Pocock also trying to get in. Unfortunately, I don't, unless there's severe damage, which there could be some to the 47, with how hard he got kind of roughed up there. But I mean, I can't say anybody was really out of place. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I kind of looked at everybody there, and it was just a cluster. Just one of the unfortunate things about racing. You know, sometimes pit road is congested, and you get things like that. But I don't think anyone looks completely out of it at this point. I think everybody got away with that without too much damage. Even Boutwell, he was kind of up in the air a little bit, but about 10 miles an hour where they did it at. So really not too bad there. We have one lap to green here. Go ahead and re-rack the field real quick. It's going to be Mark Billis. He's the lone driver that stayed out here at the front. So he'll be on looks like he's going to be taking the inside line for the restart. And it's David Westergreen and Ray Bracy. They're second and third. They've been working well since they got up to the front here. Dominic Wright's going to line up fourth. Fifth is James Watson. Jimmy Hayden sixth. Jaden Racema seventh. Eighth is Austin Sal. Ninth, Dave Carpenter. And 10th is Brandon Jones. So would have to assume Mark Billis, he pitted around lap 35, and considering we've had a lot of caution since then, probably not even that bad on fuel. And we do have Josh Adams back in the booth. Josh, tried to introduce you last time, but we kind of made the joke that we kind of made a joke that you were so over this and that you left as well, like we were not really thinking of, but it was a passing thought. But are you here with us now?
Yeah. I think I had some technical difficulties. I think just like a lot of these guys are having trying to keep this car going straight tonight.
Absolutely. But what do you think about what you've seen tonight? It's definitely been a race of all time from up here, and we're now on lap 53 of a race of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely some kind of race of all time. I've been watching my teammates Jacob and Ryan Borges running up front. Unfortunately they got a little bit torn up here this last yellow, but what I've seen there has been pretty clean. But I keep hearing wreck in turn 1, wreck in turn 3, and it's been a mess every time.
We're getting ready for the restart here. And once again, the number 99, good restart on the bottom. Might be too good of a restart. He's going to have about 4 car lengths before we even get to turn number 1 there. And that can be a death sentence here at these types of super speedway races. As we go through turns 1 and 2, it's David Westergreen on the bottom. He's got to push from behind the number 7 of Ray Bracy. We'll see what he does. Does he go outside? No, not quite yet. But here comes the number 12 of Dominic Wright. Haven't seen that car up at the front all night. We've actually seen it quite in 2 or 3 accidents. It's been wrecked and beaten to hell, but he is doing a good job right now and getting the lead with a big push from his teammate of Jimmy Hayden in turn number 3. 3 wide here, a little bit further on back. Sam Boutwell, we saw him kind of hobbling, almost flipping over on the pit road a few laps ago, but still up here in the main pack trying to make something happen. He goes up high. A little bit of issue there for Dave Carpenter. He's really slow up turn number 4, but I think he'll just let off the gas. But everything looking pretty good so far. We've settled up here at the front again. Jimmy Hayden and Dominic Wright, the 2 teammates here up at the front. And really, Ty, I think we're getting to the point here where teammates are going to be vital for this race.
Absolutely, and I mean, if you're somebody that has both or even a teammate in this race at this point, you are thinking you're lucky stars, because the absolute melee that it has been, I feel like half of these guys have been in the trenches trying to dig their way out at some point. I mean, you look at Jimmy Hayden, who hasn't really been inside the top 10 for so long because he had damage from that earlier incident. Which one? I don't know. I mean, we talked about the 9 and the 7. They're back up here. Austin Sal, who's running out of the back, he's up here. So we're starting to see guys that were unhealthy finally get their car back, and some of these guys that have just been here the whole time and had their lucky stars fall the right way still battle up here.
Yeah, and unfortunately for that, it's a lot of cars that are in that situation. Goody still not with the front end on this car, but still looking pretty competitive. I mean, in the draft, he's not falling back too much, able to kind of stay up there. So while that team looks for the front end, wherever it may be on the racetrack, still at least able to be competitive and not fall too far behind. But I think if he were to lose the draft, it would be pretty bad. I think the aero damage on that car would make him fall very, very, very. Oh, trouble, Cale Pocock. No caution yet. I think we're actually going to be fine. He is going straight again, and not sure what happened there, but definitely not something that he's going to like. Just get a better look here. He's behind Corey Abbott, and it's a stack up. Just wasn't able to slow down for it, or didn't choose to, or whatever. But I think that's really only going to hurt him more than anything else, and no caution.
Yeah, and I mean, as the race control, it was a 1-car incident. The track isn't blocked or anything. I can't really say that that's in my discretion enough to throw it unless iRacing was going to. So it's unfortunate, but I can't say that. Oh, the 08 and the 48 having a little bit of a discrepancy there on who wanted what lane. Almost some contact there between the two. They sorted out just fine. Borges with some significant front end damage. He's going to bring it to pit road.
Unfortunately, that is Jacob Adams' teammate that is no longer in commission, so that's going to make the rest of his race a little bit tougher. 23 laps to go here. There's Harrison Talion on the bottom. That car has been severely off pace for a while now, and close to the 5 lap, or the 6 lap mark, excuse me. I believe that he's actually only one lap down now. I think he might be 2, but the driver without a front end there, Dustin Dewar, he's had a star-crossed night, been up and down in the wall, in the grass, and no front end, but those drivers is still in the pack here, so I wouldn't say that it's out of it for him. I'd say if you're up in this pack right now, you definitely have a shot to win the race.
Oh, so we're going to have some 3 wide here. Brent Jones in the middle, Jacob Adams on the outside. Looking like we're going to have a little bit of a fight for here. Sam Boutwell going to jump to the outside of car number 41, and Frank Fody and Brent Jones in the 89. Try to provide some forward support for Jacob Adams. Dustin Dewar up here. He has no front end on that machine, but I think that speaks volumes with everybody being able to do this. James Watson, Sam Boutwell, they're going to dink and dunk a little bit, but they're okay.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where really any camera shot we have here, about half of the cars that we're showing at any one time are going to be involved in an accident at some point tonight. So just really, really been a messy race here, but I think we're kind of in a bit of a groove here tonight.
Jacob Adams, a huge run.
Yep, he's going to take it for himself.
Austin Amnick going to jump up. Jaden Racimus going to jump up to lead that 3rd lane. Oh, the 17 indecisive. We're wrecking again.
Yep,
Austin
Whitner
Amnick going to go.
That's a hard one. Ew.
David Westergreen going to get spun out by his teammate, unfortunately. Significant damage for James Watson. That's probably going to be race done for him. He took an Austin and Abnett to the face.
Unfortunately, I think that's going to be a pretty cut and dry one on the number 27 of Whitmer there. He just moved down into Mark Arbillis, and
yeah, moved up, moved down. That's pretty cut and dry. Moved into the 60, then down into the 99.
Yeah, that looked pretty similar to an incident that the 17 had earlier too. Some of these guys just don't seem like they really know how much room they have to either the left or the right.
Yeah, and that could be a myriad of reasons. Just the nature of the series. Maybe you don't have your FOV set right, or maybe you're just not used to it, or definitely a lot of big hits there. Austin and Nabnet just head on into the outside wall. David Westergreen gets right reared here from a car coming down the banking. Literally nothing you can do there as a driver. It's just a tough place to be in, and actually almost looked like he high-sided his car there between the banking and the apron. Was able to get it going, and I think there's not too much damage on that car. You should be able to get it fixed up. James Watson and Noah Brown have both retired from the event. So
Yeah,
we are
James
now
was
down to about 26 cars in the race.
James was probably not about to get that thing fixed, and Noah Brown was 5 laps down looking for lap number 6 pretty quickly, unless he was able to get a significant amount of damage fixed on that number 65 machine. So he went ahead and took his leave. Speaking of, Austin Abnett's still fine there. While we're working this caution, maybe take one more ad break for you before we get you to the end, or as close as we can with Barring a Yellow.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick group. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Looking for a heck of a deal? You'll find it at Tom Bolin Ford in Hannibal. Right now, over $4,000 off 2025 Escapes, $2,500 off 2025 Broncos, and over $5,000 off select new 2025 F-150s. And the best part, every one of them comes with a Bolin lifetime powertrain warranty at no extra cost. Big savings, long-term peace of mind, all in one place. Tom Bolin Ford Hannibal. Heck of a deal, ain't it?
Tickets for the 2026 season of Speed at Worldwide Technology Raceway are on sale now. The Bommarito Automotive Group 500 and Celebration of 66 Festival, June 6th and 7th. The NASCAR Cup Series Enjoy Illinois 300, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Confluence Music Festival, September 11th through 13th. And the NHRA Napa Auto Parts Midwest Nationals, October 2nd through 4th. Save big by going to WWTRaceway.com.
Welcome back here at Daytona. We're working caution number 9 here on lap 63 of 80 for the Daytona 200. Dominic Wright is your leader. Jaden Racine is second. Jimmy Hayden third. Jacob Adams fourth. Sam Boutwell fifth. Austin Sal sixth. Eric Winter seventh. Frank Fody eighth. Ray Bracey ninth. And Shay Mitchell, that's going to round out your top 10. We are still joined in the booth by Mr. Josh Adams, his brother Jacob on the racetrack. Josh decided to join us because, quite frankly, there's nothing else going on. Quickly, I know we've given a lot of ad breaks to him, but we want to thank Tom Bolin Ford for that new ad that they put out for us, the January ad. If you are near Tom Bolin Ford, by all means, go and get yourself a Ford, one of those new 2025 Broncos. Seen it enough tonight, I can memorize it while I'm asleep.
Absolutely. I gotta say, Maybe Goody needs to go to Tom Bowling Ford to get a new car because they are not finding the front end, or they can't, it doesn't fit, or for whatever reason, this car has been out here for 55 laps and they do not have a front end on it for whatever. So, I mean, Goody's still pretty quick. He's been up here in the pack, looking pretty all right. So we glad to have him out here and glad to have him still be competitive. But just really hoping they can find the nose on that machine. But real quick, 1 lap to green. We'll go ahead and re-rack the top 10 here. It's Dominic Wright, your leader in that beautiful number 12 machine. Jaden Racine second, Jimmy Hayden third, Jacob Adams fourth, Sam Beltwell fifth, Austin Sal sixth, seventh is Eric Whitner, who he was the tally of the last caution. Frank Fody eighth, Ray Bracey is ninth, and then Shay Mitchell in position number 10. Brent Jones 11th, 12th is Dave Carpenter, Dave Huckleberry 13th, 14th is Mark Billis, then Austin Abbott back in 15th. The car that went head on into the outside wall in the last caution. Surprised he's still running at all, but looks like he might not be that bad off after all. The green flag out here once again. Dominic Wright, great start. Behind Jimmy Hayden, those two JH Photo machines are lined up and presumably going to be out here, be out front here for the time being. Jaden Racine is not having any teammates to help him at the moment.
Sam Boutwell going to make a run on the outside of Jaden Racimus with some help from Eric Winter. Talk about somebody who might have lost some teammates. Himself and Ray Bracey, James Watson and David Westergreen both involved in that last wreck. So they're going to be down some numbers here. 3 wide momentarily. Ray Bracey up in between Eric Winter, or Jacob Adams and Jaden Racimus, sorry. Frank Fody going to be to his outside now. That third lane only 2 cars strong.
Here comes the number 47 to Sam Boutwell. He's actually going to get split, though, from the number 27 of Eric Whitner. Sam Boutwell, one of the drivers that's had a pretty up and down race tonight. Actually was almost flipped over on pit road not that long ago, but still up here in the pack, still looking pretty competitive in that beautiful number 47 chrome machine that I believe was painted by Bojo. So Bojo actually running behind the car he painted right now in that number 7. He like you said, Ty, no teammates up here. It's really up to him to try to make the moves. Not a great position to be in at the very end, because it does get very territorial, I'd say. But Mojo, if anyone would be able to do it, I think he would be able to up these drivers up here, but not right now. That outside line, Jacob Adams in the wall. Oh, they're still trying to wreck. Oh, I think we're going to keep it green here, but that number 48 is going to be heavily damaged.
Maybe a little bit of a rough push there from Frank Fody. Just not able to hang on to it there. Not that it's funny, I promise it isn't, but Shay Mitchell has 23 incidents, 23 incident points, and he has allegedly not caused a single one. So that's where we're at tonight. Shay Mitchell not having a fun time, but we're getting these guys packed back up. I think we're probably where we're going to be pack-wise right now, because that group behind this, I would say top 10-ish, is pretty spaced out, and there's not enough cars there to catch up. So these guys are going to be hurting.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jacob Adams, that's going to be, he was one of the dominant drivers of tonight's race. I think probably has led the most laps up to this point. So not what you want to see with so few laps left. We're looking at 14 laps to go. We're going to need really a quick caution for him to get back really into contention here, but he's still kind of tailing onto the back of that pack. I think he is not super bad off as I thought he would with the push to 59.
It's kind of weird. I don't know how far back the draft region is, but Dave Carpenter's going to be going about $1.97 catching up to this front pack. Pulled to the outside of Shay Mitchell. I don't think they're going to have much more of a run other than that, as they're already losing momentum, but bringing it back up, I think Jacob Adams might be the last car that's going to get here, though.
Yeah, trying to see if we can get a high line formed up there. 47, Sam Boutwell. He is the leader of that line right now. Has that 41 of Fody behind him, and not sure how confident he's going to be in that push, knowing that the last car that was in front of that car went into the wall, but car there on the bottom was Italian, and I believe Borges.
Ray Bracey actually drops due to upload packet loss. He's coming back, though, so he's going to go a couple laps down.
Dropping like flies tonight. this the end of this race now is kind of looking like a real ARCA Daytona race. We're just lost everybody, and we're kind of we're in a line right now. That is literally how a real ARCA race always looks at Daytona. So art imitates reality, does it not?
12 laps to go this time by. Contact between the 47 and the 89 of Brent Jones. They're going to sort it out, though. It looks like they're actually going to go 3 wide. I lied. It's going to be a pretty big momentum loss here for these guys. Oh, Sam Bowell turned into
That's
the
an even bigger one.
59. Caleb Acumer, Dave Carpenter.
We're still green here. No caution yet. That's crazy.
Everybody's
That's not a
still
caution.
straight. Caleb Acumer's nose is ripped clean off of that machine.
Say that might be on the 47 there. I have to look at that one more time, but I think he might have came up into the car that was above him just a tad.
It's one of those situations where it's like, if iRacing would have called it, I think that would have been, obviously different. But unfortunately, the track isn't blocked. Everybody's going. I don't think I'm going to throw a yellow for that one. I know it's not going to be a popular opinion, but
it's kind of too late at that point. So either way, I mean, we're single file here at the front. Dominic Wright with the lead. He's got that push from Jimmy Hayden. That's a pretty solid push right now. Jaden Racema is probably the odd man out with the teammates in front of him, and I'm not sure. There might be teammates behind as well. I'm not really sure. I don't have my list right now, but yeah, Whitner and Sal, 2 drivers that have been probably 2 different stories of the race. Whitner has been involved in several accidents, and Austin Sal actually not too bad off himself. He's actually been able to avoid most of the carnage. He's been pretty solid and quiet tonight. So seeing how all the stories of the night are coming up into play here. 10 laps to go. Not much time. We don't have a lot of cars up at the front pack here to do much either. So seeing a move there on Fody. That's from behind. I believe that looks to be the 48 of Adams.
yeah, and it's one of those situations where the side draft is strong enough where you can kind of try to do it solo and pick people off. But right now, I mean, all he's doing is pulling that 4-car pack off of these guys, and they should be able to get back up to him. But if they stay side by side like this, that's not going to happen.
Lots of lap cars up here. We're now passing Bojo up at the high side there. And yeah, like you said, we're kind of breaking apart there a little bit. 41 of Fody, he's fallen off Sal just a little bit. Has to be, you have to be comfortable. Once you fall back beyond about I think it's about 8 tenths to a second behind the car in front, you will start to lose that draft. And especially if you have a little bit of damage like the 48 of Adams, have to think that has a huge run from that. He's got that push from behind from Brent Jones. We'll see what they can do. Adams, I'm surprised he's still in the race. That was a huge hit into the turn 4 wall just a few laps ago. But yeah, apparently has not damaged the car to a point where it's super uncompetitive. So pretty lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, them Shift Esports Fords are built Ford tough.
Yeah, I feel like Borges has been kind of hanging on out here. He's not totally done just yet, but he's getting there.
Now we got a little bit of a pack of lappers here. There's Borges, it's Fody, and Dewar in front of them, and I think they are all just going to get out of the way and not really make it a problem. Kind of uncoordinated. One driver went one way, and the other 2 went the other way. And really super committed to it, but I think we're all going to get around him and looking good there. So 7 laps to go here. Not much time at all. This will be over in a few minutes, and Dominic Wright looking pretty steady up there with that push from behind from Jimmy Hayden. We'll see. I wouldn't expect Jimmy Hayden to just push Dominic to the win. I would assume that probably last lap or so that there might be a move made there, but just kind of trying to position themselves towards the end of this race and probably make it between them. Not get the one of Jaden Racimus involved, and certainly no one else from beyond there. So just a little bit of a strategic decision for those 2 drivers at the front. And Jacob Adams just trying to make something work up here with that push from Brent Jones. That's really all he can do at this point, and nobody else seems to really be willing or able to help him. So Actually not going to be able to do anything right now. Slots in behind Corey Abbott, 6 laps to go. And do you expect anyone to try to make a move here?
I mean, I would hope so. You know, I think there's a lot of these mixed bags up here. I mean, you've got Frank there, you've got Jaden Racimus is up there. He's got a couple teammates in that vicinity, I believe. So, I think right now the best bet for Jacob Adams is to keep trying to make this as the laps go down. Somebody will pull out, and somebody will pull him and surge him forward. He's just got to try to time it right. And Corey Abbott not happy. I think the exact words from Corey to Jacob was, "Are you going to push me through Frank?" And I feel like at this point the aggression's going to keep going and going and going and picking up.
And these two drivers aren't helping each other whatsoever. This is really just hurting them both and hurting Brent Jones as well. They can't line up because if nobody's going to go with you, there's really no point in it at the moment. Or there is a point, but you have to. They're really just kind of slowing each other down at this point, and really just need to figure it out, and because nothing else is going to happen. So, yeah, 5 laps to go here. I think
to that same point, they need to figure it out. But the 21's not going to win by himself from 7th or 8th, so you got to at some point make the move before the last lap. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's just a bit of stubbornness here, maybe a bit of frustration for just how the night's gone. I think a lot of people kind of just express a general feeling of why, but they figured out finally. 5 laps to go, coming to 4 to go. Not really going to do anything with Fody at the moment, so we're still just single file here up at the front. Dominic Wright and Hayden and Jimmy Hayden are controlling this field with the push that they're doing, and Abbott and Adams still can't figure it out between themselves. There goes Fody. So I think split decision on whether they're going to go with him or not. Abbott goes with Fody, but Jacob Adams, who's been trying to use the high side all day, is deciding to not go with Abbott or Fody. So outside line here. Coming 3 laps to go. I'm wondering what's going to happen here if we're going to be able to make a high line work. Abbott, Fody, and Jones up on that high side. They're up to the 3rd position or so. So there's a push there. There's definitely some speed up there on that outside line. See if they can actually make use of it.
Adams is going to pitch in. Actually, he's going to go 3 wide. That's a questionable move. I don't think that's going to really do anything for anybody, especially with no momentum. He's going to try to force Brent Jones to the bottom, and that's going to kill that second lane's momentum. I was going to say that if they can get this sorted out, and if Frank Fody could stay tight to the door of Jaden Racimus, it was maybe going to pull that inside lane back just enough to pull it even. Frank right now a little indecisive on whether he wants to hold a lane or not, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I think all these drivers back here just kind of a bit of inexperience and maybe a bit of stubbornness showing. We're coming to 2 laps to go. Obviously nothing is really helping here. They're not really making any progress towards anything besides just being in a wad of cars. You see Corey Abbott deciding to go to the inside. They're going to cut Jacob Adams once again. So really nobody can figure out who they want to work with here. It's kind of just everybody for themselves, and everybody's just kind of trying to screw each other over somewhat here at the end of the race. Maybe just, I'm not sure why, but
Abbott's going to have a huge run here.
Yeah.
He's going to lift. He's going to choose to wait. We're coming to the white flag. He's going to try to build it up and let it simmer just a little bit more. Eric Whitner behind him. Jacob Adams going to side draft the crap out of Eric Whitner.
Through turn 4 here. We're coming to the last lap here, so we'll see if any moves are made. It's still Dominic Wright with that push from Jimmy Hayden. Jaden Racimus is 3rd. Bryce Fody. Frank Fody, one of the other Fodys. Frank Fody, the 4th one. He was able to get up to the 4th position, so yeah, they're still trying to figure it out behind them. I think it's going to be between these 4 cars here, and I think it's going to be hard to get in front of those 2 Jimmy Hayden photography cars at the front, Wright and Hayden. I think Hayden probably okay to just push that car to maybe to the win, but definitely right now not really looking like anything can happen behind.
Yeah, front 4 is going to be all it is. Jacob Adams has kind of killed that second pack, so right now it's going to be Dominic Wright trying to defend off Jimmy Hayden. I think Jimmy might make a move on him. They are teammates, or not teammates, but sponsored. Jimmy with a move. Here we go. Going to go to the outside. I think it's going to be pretty simple there. Is Frank Fody going to have anything? No, Jimmy Hayden's going to win at Daytona.
And it's finally over. And it's finally over for everybody across the line. Hayden, Fody got 2nd, so Dominic Wright It was a perfectly timed move from Hayden on Wright there. Yeah, long race here at Daytona, long night. I think all these drivers probably ready to get back to the hotel.
Yeah, I know we just about are. Running through the rest of your top 10, Abbott, Sale, Whitner, Jones, Pocock. That's your top 10. 15 cars finished on the lead lap tonight. More than I certainly thought we would. That's kind of a miracle.
Definitely one of the races of all time here tonight. We saw 80 laps at Daytona, and we have a winner. And that winner is Jimmy Hayden. So that's his first win on the season. Probably not sure if he would have expected it to come at Daytona, but he's been pretty strong so far this season. Probably should have had.
I believe we're back. I got to feed them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sitting with us there. That was a interesting situation. We're back from Daytona. I think we had a little bit of a internet problem with our primary producer, Mr. Chris Wright. Thanks to Dave for popping up here. Let's not keep these guys waiting any longer. I don't think Frank is here, so I believe Cam, if you just want to go ahead and take Mr. Dominic Wright, go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right. There he is. Dominic Wright. This is Cam Rich to the booth. You got a copy?
I hear you.
All right, man. Well, interesting race for sure. I think there's a lot of probably different opinions on what happened there tonight, but it certainly was one of the iRacing races I ever saw. P2 in the end, back and forth for you. I think you were involved in one of the accidents there, but you got back up in the front there. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, I think it was around lap 5 or so. My opinion was very different. I was so ready for this to be over. Cautions kept piling. I got involved in the big stack up with the Josh Osborne downshifting. But really from there, I got towards the front. I linked up with my great friend Jimmy Hayden, and we kind of just tried to keep it out front as long as possible. And I'm just so thrilled I hung on to second. I didn't realize Frank and I tied across the line. That was a really special finish.
Yeah, we thought you two were teammates, Jimmy Hayden and yourself, just the sponsor there. But great friends is enough of a reason there as well. That's fine as well. Definitely good to draft with the friends. But out there tonight, I mean, what was the biggest challenge you found? We didn't really have that much green flag race until the very end, but was there anything challenging about the way the cars drove? We saw a few of them just moving around a lot under the draft conditions. Was that tough, or track conditions or anything like that for you?
Yeah, overall, it was pretty smooth, pretty easy to drive. But man, that side draft was really strong, really killer. And honestly, I was more concerned about my internet. I was blinking out a bit. I was taking an EOL at the start of the race, and honestly, I'm just thrilled I didn't disconnect or fall way out of it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, a good point tonight for you here with the second place finish. We go to a totally different track next week. We're going to Phoenix, Old Phoenix actually. So I'm excited about that one. I think Old Phoenix is better than New Phoenix, but old man will stop yelling at Cloud here. How are you feeling about that one?
I have a strange love of these legacy tracks. I was having a ton of fun in Atlanta, got caught up in some stuff, couldn't finish it, and I've raced Legacy Phoenix so many times in Pickup Cup. Just hopefully we get less carnage, but overall I'm very thrilled for the next race.
That's a shout. Pickup Cup, always a fun time there. But anyway, appreciate your time here tonight. Before we let you go, any sponsors or shout outs?
Yeah, first of all, I'd love to shout out the boys over at Abbott Motorsports. We had Corey Abbott, Andrew Hardcastle, Cale Pocock, Jane Racimus, Shay Mitchell, Logan Kiefer a bit. Obviously, big shout out Jimmy Hayden Photography. He isn't technically on Abbott, but he has been a big part of my iRacing. Shout out my mom, my dad, my stepdad, whoever else may be watching, and especially Infinity Graphic Designs and Pocock Racing Liveries for giving us this sweet series sponsor.
Absolutely. Well, again, Dominic, good job out there tonight. Great run. Made a note about how good your car looks as well. It's a great looking machine there. And it looked great. They're leading a lot of laps. So we hope to talk to you again next week. And yeah, thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you for broadcasting.
All right. Yep. That was Dominic Wright, your second place finisher. We can't find Frank Foti, your third place finisher, for an interview. So while we search vehemently, Ty is going to catch up with Jimmy Hayden.
Jimmy Hayden, it's type in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Hey, buddy. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say you had an uneventful night. I think everybody had an eventful night tonight, but ultimately you put yourself in the right spot there. I know it was probably a pretty easy decision for yourself to pass even the car you sponsored for the win there, but you come home with one at Daytona, buddy. How does it feel?
Man, it feels great. I went into tonight. I was tired. Wasn't sure, how I was feeling, but I just told the fellas, I just wanted to bring it home in one piece. Towards the top in points. I want to make sure I can get in the playoffs and have a shot there at the end. So I told Dom, I'm like, I'm gonna push you right to the end. If there's an opportunity where I'm not gonna screw you, I'm gonna take it. But thankfully, it was put myself in a good position, kept the car clean, and did what I had to do.
Obviously, I think you've had a pretty decent season as far as points go. This is going to be a huge boost to that, especially with Caleb Akumer having the night he did down in 23rd. I think where do we go next? We don't normally have our schedule graphics, so I actually don't quite know it. I think it is Phoenix. So headed to a place like Phoenix, do you think that you have a pretty good little momentum swing headed your way?
Yeah, I hope so. I love that track. I think at least in the old ARCA car, that track was one of my strengths, I guess you could say. We'll see how this one drives there. I've been struggling a little bit on the 1.5 miles. Glad to see I still have a little bit of, still have what it takes on the super speedways. We'll see how I do on the short tracks, but looking forward to it. Definitely got some wind in my sails now, though.
All right, buddy. Well, before we let you go celebrate this, I know you probably want to get out of here, especially if you were tired with how long this one just took. But anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to all the Abbott Motorsports fellows. I didn't have a teammate tonight, and they were gracious enough to let me play with them. Shout out to Jaden and Dom, especially there at the end for working together. I'm glad it all worked out in the end for us. Shout out to Dylan Slepian, also couldn't make it tonight, but I knew I think he was watching. We'll see, but and check out my photography work if you don't mind. I try to get to some racetracks here and there throughout the season, so maybe I'll catch Mark at one of these too.
All right, buddy. Well, I think that's going to do it for questions for us. But
Yep.
You have a good night. Congrats on the win, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, and thanks for all you guys putting this on.
That was race winner Jimmy Hayden, and Frank Foti is still nowhere to be found. So I guess we're just going to roll on without him. Cam, it was a lot longer of a night than we expected, and certainly I think a lot longer for these guys with how it felt in the car. But at the end of the day, it's said and done, and Jimmy Hayden's our winner.
Yep, absolutely. I think all these drivers, and so are we, probably excited to get on the plane and make that 4-hour-ish flight out to Phoenix. It's going to be a good one out there. Legacy Phoenix, definitely going to be a lot more slipping and sliding over there tonight, or over there than tonight, excuse me. So, yeah, I think long night comes to an end now. And next week, same time, same place. I don't believe we actually had a points, or not points, but a finishing graphic tonight due to our technical issues. But either way, yeah, same time, same place next weekend. Not weekend, it's Tuesday, excuse me. Next Tuesday will be Phoenix. So from myself, from Chris, from Ty here at Elite Race Network, you guys have a great night.